Well, we're back on the road with Beyond the Frame Live. And right now, I have the opportunity to speak with Mike Logan. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Dottie, how you doing?
I am great, thank you. And Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hi,
How's
Dottie.
it going? From the good old College Station, Texas. Grand Station. Gig 'em. And today, we want to talk to you guys. Well, first of all, welcome to Bowl Expo.
Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you hope to take away from Expo this year?
You know, just being here was probably 75% of the challenge. Knowing the fact that all the work and effort was put on to make this show possible, coming out of the pandemic, it's been wonderful. It's great to catch up, see old people, old friends again, and to hear the stories. You know, how they've managed to get through the pandemic. A lot of us right now are very fortunate, depending on what state you're from, are actually coming out of this thing doing very well. So.
Well, let me ask you something. So we are on the road to recovery.
Yes.
On your road to recovery right now, are you below the speed limit, at the speed limit, or speeding?
It depends on how you look at it. From a revenue standpoint, we're speeding. Now, on some of the other issues, like everybody else, we're having issues right now with employees trying to find enough staff. And that seems to be the biggest problem. Hold on to that, but no, it's been great. It's been great.
Well, you said that you're having a challenge finding employees. Have y'all had to change any of your hours or days that you're open as a result of not having enough employees?
No, we just make it work. We have a good, solid crew that we've built around, and we have a great team that we've kind of gone through the fire of COVID. This past year was a rough spot for a lot of us, and we have a team that kind of went through this, weathered the storm with us, and now they're still intact, and we're just trying to build around them.
Absolutely. They don't have that luxury. So.
That's right. We have some good people around us to help us out.
Wonderful. So, how would you say that the customer has changed, or has the customer changed now that you've reopened? Do you see that the customer is different? Do they have different needs or different expectations than they had prior to closing down?
Maybe a little bit. We came back, was an abbreviated league schedule because it was last summer. So we had a smaller version of league. We couldn't promote it like we did in years past.
Sure.
So we had a smaller league base, but we started getting more families out. We were able to. You know, when the mask mandate came into play, our business dropped back down again. But then being in Texas, somewhere around September, October, when the mask, people started getting a little more familiar with it. We started getting a lot of groups in. Church groups, they saw that we were keeping up with the social distancing.
Sure.
So a lot of people had good trust. We were getting a lot of reviews, positive reviews online, because we were paying attention and trying to be as conscientious as far as taking care of the social distancing.
And that was really important to them at the time.
And keeping things clean. So you know, when Scott and the staff did a fabulous job putting that together. So.
Well, you know, Scott, before we went live, you were sharing with me just a little bit about the fact that you guys have large groups that are coming in now. And it was really interesting about where those groups are coming in from. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we actually have some of our we've kind of partnered with the Visitors Bureau and worked with them on, hey, what can we do to help you guys out? And they give us a list of all the groups that are coming into town, and we have them, we kind of geo-target some marketing efforts there and kind of let them know who we are. And we have some Grand Station swag that we kind of hand out and pass out. And we just, whatever we can do to kind of help the city build up their, the tournaments and whatever they can make them run better, however we can help support them. That's kind of in return kind of helped us because they're driving people. They become our biggest advocate. Like when they ask the city what is there to do in town, we're the first one that they name because we have a great relationship with them, and so we talk with them on a regular basis. And
well, That's really good, and I hope that our viewers will take that to heart, because you do need to be very aware of how much help that those people can be, and make yourself known to them. Get out there. Jay and I just launched a Seeds of Success that said, if you've got it, flaunt it. You've got to get your message out there. People have to know who you are and what you have to offer for them. And the other one is the destination management companies, the destination planners, the event planners. Become their part of their network so that they will think of you, first off. So I want to ask you, what is on your 2021 bucket list that you still have to do?
Oh, wow. That's a good question right there.
Or maybe I should say, what's on your 2021 bucket list that you still want to do? How's that?
Survive.
Okay, I like that. And you?
Is it bowling related?
It can be,
because
it can be just normal, whatever.
I want to be able to take my wife and family and go on a little vacation.
Nice.
And take the whole family.
Nice.
So that's what we're looking forward to next year.
That's very good. Well, since we are kind of going down the personal road, I have to ask this question because I find this really interesting, and yes, I've caught you off guard. But what is it that you discovered during the pandemic, and I'll ask both of you this, what did you discover during the pandemic that you're really going to miss that it's gone away?
Wow. Really, I guess discovering more about ourselves. With the pandemic, when the 2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into 2.5 months, I don't think at any time I ever had any fear that our business was not going to come back. And then you start hearing all these other places that are closing down. But I knew that with the team that we had, we kept everything intact. We worked real hard during that time to do a lot of cleaning, maintenance missions.
Sure.
So that was one thing that it was very challenging. And at the time, was it scary? Maybe a little bit.
Yes.
But we never lost that faith that we were going to get back and going again. And I guess back in March of this year, 2021, things have just taken off like a rocket ship. But I'm very cautiously optimistic.
Of course.
I want to make sure that things are going well, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
Plus, you made some decisions early on that, keeping those things in place, looking at your budget, looking at where you could, cut corners, and keeping those things in place is certainly going to help as well.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I think for me, to kind of give you some context, is before we closed down for COVID, we had 100 employees. When we reopened in May of 2020, we had like 27 employees. So we had this huge operation that needed people to fill the void. So I think for me, I'm going to miss the early mornings with the seniors and being able to actually talk with them one-on-one and being able to get to know them on a personal level. There's so much wisdom to soak up there, and I still talk to them from time to time, but it's usually I'm in passing, I'm here, you're there, and it's like waving, and it's like back to business as usual. But I miss the slow down part and being able to have some depth with some of the people up there.
Isn't that the truth? The fact that the pandemic showed us just how valuable time is and how, kindness will go far with people. And those are the things for myself that I would like to hang on to for sure. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much. Is there any words of wisdom you'd like to leave our viewers with?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but
Okay.
We certainly appreciate you guys, and I know that Beyond the Lanes, you guys
Beyond
did a
the
good
frame, absolutely.
Beyond the frame. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, did a good job of keeping everybody posted what was going on with during the pandemic, and also too, and I think that and also the social media that people do. That was one thing. I need to give a plug to our social media company.
Yes, absolutely.
They did a great job during the months we weren't open, that constantly just kept things going. And if you didn't do that, I think it was very important that you did do that. Even when downtimes, let everybody know you're still operating, you're still there, and you're still working hard. And I think that was very important.
Well, you know, what we've also learned is people want to be a part of the story. They want to be able to go on that journey with you. And when you allow that to happen and you bring them into your story and they're a part of that story, that goes a long ways to show that you depend on, you know, that you have confidence in them, you depend on them, and you appreciate them as your customers. So, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being out with us today. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the show. And gig 'em, guys.
Gig 'em, there you go.
All right.